Hi, I'm Tracey Hall, and I'm going to talk again today about adolescents and some components of our middle school program that we think really support them in their becoming. Remember, adolescents are focused on becoming adults. They're really more aware of that desire than ever before. We can think about the baby beginning to develop skills to become a successful human being right from the start. But adolescents know that they want to be adults, that they want to adopt adult roles. Adolescence here in the United States lasts longer than it ever has before. So, the general definition of adolescence is the period of time that begins with the onset of puberty and ends with that person launching into the world and being successful on their own. In our society, because children are uh, entering puberty so much younger for a variety of reasons, around 10, and then they're not leaving this period of time. Like, there's so much education necessary to become a successful part of our society, so much support necessary that they may not leave this stage until 25. So that's 15 years in this period. And we want to start to offer them the kinds of support and skills that they're interested in during adolescence. So if we know that what they want is to be an adult and to try on adult roles, something we can do is begin to offer them ways to practice. And Jerome Bruner, who is a developmental psychologist, talks about the idea of handover. Handover has happened in societies over all the time that humanity has been on the world. And so by handover, what he means is an adult who's competent and capable demonstrates how to do something that takes skill. And then as they demonstrate, they offer support to the apprentice, if you will, so that that person can begin to develop some of those skills. And as the adult sees competence rise, they hand over more and more responsibility until the adolescent can do it on their own. We do handover at much younger levels too, but I think this apprenticeship model has a lot of value in our education system today that for a while we ignored. We said we're going to do this very academic focused way of learning, and if you're going to learn about writing, I'm going to tell you how to do writing. Now we're understanding that one way that learners can become better writers is through watching an adult expert demonstrate how they write. How do I struggle with my writing? What is my process? And then they can try out those processes for themselves. And with the support of that competent adult, take on more and more until they're writing on their own. But the same is true for trying out being a member of society. So a big way that we participate in society is through our engagement in the economic part of society. So we're purchasing things, certainly, and perhaps adolescents have been doing that through their own home, through their households purchasing. But to be someone who actively creates a product, sells that product, takes in the income, and then decides what to do with it, that is a participation in the culture that can really teach them a lot about what it means to be an adult in our world. And so at our middle school, having a business for them to engage with is really important, and not just a business like a fundraiser where I say this week we're going to sell muffins, but a business where they're engaged in every part of the business and that the business is ongoing. Something that people will say is, getting used to the idea that the business never sleeps, that they have this responsibility that runs throughout the year for this micro business that they take charge of. So at Rock Prairie Montessori, we plan for that business to be connected to our land. So as we're developing the products together, the students get to see what it's like to engage with the planet, what it means to take care of things well, and what they can do with those products in order to earn funds for their program. So it's not that we just say, oh, welcome, create a business instead. And part of the reason we've chosen a farm-based business is because I have experience with that. So they will get to see what an adult knows about how to run a business, and then we'll hand over more and more responsibility. So eventually, even perhaps they're choosing some of the products that we develop rather than learning from us about the initial products. And this is a way that they can feel more competent and have more understanding of what it means to be successful in the larger world. What do you have to think about? What do you have to consider? How does it affect your life when you've got something you're responsible for all the time? Not that they will necessarily grow up and work in this particular field. It's not that type of apprenticeship. Instead, they're learning all these skills so that then when they discover what it is that they're really passionate about, they have those skills to transfer. So we're really excited about this component. We think it is a way in which adolescents can feel very empowered and take on a kind of responsibility that they haven't had the opportunity to do as younger learners. And it threads through the rest of our program. We can connect the things they're learning in other areas to this business aspect of the program.